I'm Kristen Garlitz with APS EdTech, and this is a training on how to do virtual field trips using our 12 Days of EdTech tools. We will be talking about Pear Deck a little bit, and we'll be talking about Google Earth. I don't know if you've ever used Google Earth before, but there's a lot of really great resources with them. I'm also going to be sharing with you the 12 Days of EdTech website. There's going to be all sorts of great resources, but we've got all of our virtual field trips in one space for you. So on the 12 Days website, day 12, which is December 1st, you know, because you count backwards with the 12 days, the virtual field trips we've got right here. We've got virtual field trips all over the world and even all over space so that you can take your kids wherever you would like to go. The way the website is set up is you've got the name of the location, and then you've got the tool, the tool that uses it. So like this first one is the Egyptian pyramids with Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is a great website that takes either your videos or YouTube videos and adds questions to them throughout the video so that you force the viewer to pause and answer questions as they're reading or going through the video. We've got holidays around the world, looking at Mars, which is an exploration with NASA and Google. We've got New Mexico, if you'd like to keep it closer to home. We have a lot of students who live here, but you know, they don't ever really leave their city, their little piece of the neighborhood. So it's nice to get them out and so they can see the rest of New Mexico. We've got postcards from Perry, which uses Pear Deck. These are all pre-made, ready-to-go lessons. Perry visits lots of different places, and he's cute. Cave explorations. I know we have a lot of students who may not know that there are caves, even here in New Mexico, that are really cool to look at. For each of these, we've got the QR code. So if you've got older students with phones, or even with their Chromebook cameras, they can scan the QR code and go directly there. Let's go ahead and do one of the Google Earth ones so you can see what it's like to use Google Earth. So I'm going to go ahead and explore the fjords of Alaska with Google Earth. So I'm going to scroll down here to the interactive link and open that. So we've got this great little graphic with some location buttons. Hopefully the more that your students use maps, the more they realize that these little shapes are locations that they can visit by clicking on them. So with this link, all you have to do is click on those, and it takes you to the Google Arts and Culture video. I don't know if you've ever seen these videos before. They're super cool. This isn't just a regular video. I don't know how well it's going to show up across the Meet, but when I play this, this is one of the regular videos. But that's a beautiful video. There's somewhere it's actually interactive and you can move around within it. Yeah. So as you're watching the video, you click and drag the video. It's a 3D video. I mean, what a cool experience for students. You can even pause the video, and then it's like a Google Earth photo. But they do this with their 3D cameras, getting a picture all the way around. You can see the people down below. I mean, what a cool way to experience the fjords, which is something that's completely foreign to most of us desert dwellers. A lot of these videos are also captioned, which is great for our students who need a little extra visual support. But you literally just click and drag. So whenever you see one of these Google Arts and Culture videos that's got one of these little buttons on it, that means it's a draggable, clickable. It works with the touch screen on the Chromebooks and the iPads too, so they can click and drag around. And then on this particular activity about the fjords, you can click here, and it takes them to an informational text all about the animals, the plants, the glaciers, this beautiful graphic text with lots of beautiful pictures. So what a great visit of the fjords. If you want something that is also easy, the Pear Deck ones are fantastic If we do postcards from Perry, let's say since we just visited somewhere cold, let's go somewhere a little warmer. Let's go to Machu Picchu. I'm going to click here on the Machu Picchu link. These Pear Deck links are all templates. So if I click here and I click use this template, it's going to save this Pear Deck slide deck in my drive. So once it's saved to my drive, then I can use it just like any other drive that I have, or any other Google Slides that I've created. So these do use the Pear Deck add-on. As just a real quick brief how to use Pear Deck, you click here on the little Pear Deck in the toolbar, and if you don't see the little tiny pear in your toolbar when you're on a Google Slides, you click on extensions and then add-ons. It's down here, Pear Deck for Google add-ons, and then open Pear Deck. That's going to open up this bar on the side here. And so this lesson's ready to go. I don't actually need to add anything to this lesson. What I can do now is click Start Lesson, and I can choose, do I want it to be student paced, where students go through it at their own pace, and they have the freedom to click backwards and forwards through the slides? Or do I want to click instructor paced, and do I want to walk them through it step by step? For this, I'm going to choose student paced so that you guys can explore it. This is fantastic. If you've never used Pear Deck before, it at the end, even in student paced, will allow you to save all their responses so that you can grade them later. But it's also fantastic for student engagement. So I'm going to go ahead and click the copy link, and then I'm going to post it in the chat here. Yeah, Pear Deck is awesome. If you've never used it before, these pre-made lessons are a great way to get your feet wet without having to do a bunch of work. You can also click here and share directly to Classroom. This is a fantastic option if you're using Google Classroom, because you just choose which class you want to add it to, and then you choose what it is going to be. Usually you would choose create an assignment for Pear Deck so that you can make a copy for each student, or they can all get in, or whatever, and then click go. And then you've got your Google Classroom right here ready to go. So as a teacher, if I go to the dashboard, I can see where all my students are. So right now I've got a class roster of 4. So also this is great for student engagement, because you can make sure that all your students are actually in the Pear Deck. And I can see what slide everybody's on. So if you're in student paced and you go ahead and go forward to slide 3, there's a I know, I wonder, I hope for Machu Picchu. So this is kind of like an old school, the KWL chart. We've turned it digital. So you're getting your students thinking about, do they know anything? Have they heard anything about Machu Picchu before starting this virtual field trip? On slide 4, it's going to take them to a link. So if you click on that link at the bottom there, when you're in as a student, it opens it up for you. As a teacher, I can also open it. So these Pear Deck virtual field trips give students more chance to take notes on how they're interacting with it. So this is great if you need an activity that's more graded instead of just more exploratory. Those Google Arts and Culture ones are absolutely gorgeous, but you would have to sometimes create the activities to go with it. With these Pear Deck ones, all of the questions are already here ready to go asked. At the end, it asks students to type or draw things that they learned from this video, and then rate how they would visit it, and then a reflection all the way at the very end. I can open up the projector if I wanted to not make it student paced or go through the slides with them. Now I've got the teacher view open, and I just click those little arrows at the bottom to go forward. And now I could project this on my screen and show the students, okay, now you're going to do your I know, I wonder, I hope before we start. At any point during a Pear Deck, you can change it from student paced to teacher paced and back again. So that's great if you've got issues with, like, you want to introduce the lesson and then have them explore on their own later. All you would do is down at the bar here, click Stop Student Paced, or click on the 3 little dots and turn off student paced. At the very end, you would want to end this session when everybody's done, because then you can publish takeaways. Takeaways are a great tool from Pear Deck, where you have one link that you share with students either through Seesaw or Google Classroom. And when they click on that one link, it takes them directly to their answers. So they don't see everybody's answers, they see theirs, but it's only one link for you to share. That same link also allows you to see all of their answers in your Google Drive. It actually creates a PDF file of each of their answers. So that's a really fun way to make sure that students are looking at their answers and an easy way for you to go back and grade. So as you can see here from Postcards from Perry, he goes to Greenland, Machu Picchu, and the Statue of Liberty. This one also comes with a lesson plan template. If you click on that lesson plan template, it opens up a full lesson plan that you can then click Use Template. And whenever you click Use Template, it makes a copy and puts it in your drive. So if you did want to do these virtual field trips as maybe an observable lesson for your principals, you've got your lesson plan ready to go here, your standards, your full lesson, and your assessment at the end. I'm going to go ahead and try this Edpuzzle one, just to real briefly show you Edpuzzle. Again, Edpuzzle has tons of pre-made, ready-to-go activities that are easy to use. You can also make your own Edpuzzle ones. But if I click on this Egyptian pyramid one here and click Interactive Link, this video is now ready to be used as a teacher. So first you have to log in. And if you don't have an Edpuzzle account, they're quick and easy to create. They're free. But how it works is that you can see there's this YouTube video here about the Egyptian pyramids. And down at the bottom, all of these little drop marks, there's been a question dropped into the video. And then over on the side here, I can see at what point all the questions are, and that they are open-ended questions, so that students are going to have to type out their answers. So once you log in, and then you can save this video, you can assign it through Google Classroom or Seesaw, or project it onto the board if you don't want to assign it and just have students answer the questions on paper. That's a totally fine way to do it too. But the nice thing about Edpuzzle is that it turns these YouTube videos where it's a passive activity where students just sit back and listen to an active activity where they have to actually answer questions. So, and if you don't have an account, you can create one and get to those Egyptian pyramids Edpuzzle. This Mars one is amazing. So if you're doing a science unit or want your kids to learn more about other planets, this one, there's a full 360 view of the surface as recorded by NASA's Curiosity rover. And it's going to launch the Curiosity rover in this little like demo experience. You can skip the intro if you would like. So it's a bit of a long intro, but it really shows the students, you know, a little brief bit about how the rover got to Mars. I'm going to go ahead and move. So what a great way to show students about Mars. If you've got touchscreen like I do, I can actually click on my touchscreen and move the screen. You can click on the pieces here and really see everything about the rover, all the different pieces of the rover. Anywhere where there's this little white ball, there's questions. It's funny how much this looks like deserts that we know, even though it's on a planet very far away. Let's see here, if I can get to the map. This is the Mars one. As you can see, we've got field trips that span everywhere. And they're all here on the 12 Days of EdTech website. So what questions do you guys have for me? Can you edit the questions on Pear Deck or Edpuzzle, Camilla? Which one are you asking?
Pear Deck. So
Pear Deck.
One that you had that was already pre-made, could you go in and just alter those questions?
Yes. So once you click that template and add it to your drive, it's now officially your slide deck. So you could go into those slides and edit them however you want. If you wanted to add in more Pear Deck questions or take some out or change the wording, you definitely can do that. It's in your drive. It's your copy now.
Okay, thank you.
But we wanted to make sure that we had lots of places for you to visit to fit all your different content areas and your grade levels. So they're all at different grade levels. Look for the ones with lesson plans. If you need a lesson plan to turn in for your principals or to collect this data, those are ready to go.